In the stillness of the night, a woman settles in for a movie. Alone, she basks in the silence, her only company the flickering screen and the rhythmic hum of the night. Her routine is solitary, a nocturnal escape into realms of fiction, a journey into the heart of darkness, where the thrill of the unknown meets the comfort of the familiar. Tonight, she stumbles upon a new film, its title intriguing, its synopsis compelling. Her anticipation builds as she presses play, her heartbeat the only sound punctuating the quiet. The opening scene unfolds, a tableau of characters and settings that, despite their novelty, seem eerily familiar. A shiver of recognition ripples through her, a whisper from the past echoing in the present. The protagonist, a woman of her own age, inhabits a world that mirrors her own. The same street, the same house, the same mundane details of daily life. A doppelganger in another reality, living a life that feels uncannily like her own. The narrative draws her in, a magnetic pull that she can't resist. The settings, the characters, the unfolding plot. It's as if they've been plucked from her own memory, a cinematic reflection of her life. As she delves deeper into the movie, her sense of unease grows. The plot twists and turns, mirroring her own life's ups and downs. Each scene, each line of dialogue, resonates with her own experiences. The familiarity is disconcerting, yet she can't look away. The film holds her captive, her curiosity piqued, her pulse quickening with each passing scene. Her heart drums in her chest, her palms grow clammy. The movie continues its eerie echo of her existence. Every scene a mirror reflecting her own life back at her. Her comfort is replaced by a creeping dread, an unsettling sensation that something isn't quite right. She is no longer merely an observer, but an unwilling participant in a narrative that is all too familiar. As the plot unfolds, she can't help but feel a strange sense of déjà vu. The line between fiction and reality blurs. As the credits roll, she is left with a chilling thought. Could this movie be more than just a late-night entertainment? Could it, in fact, be a reflection of her own life? Or perhaps her afterlife? As the movie progresses, the woman finds disturbing parallels between the film and her life. Every scene, every dialogue, seems to mirror her own experiences in a startlingly accurate manner. The familiar settings, the characters bearing striking resemblances to people she knows, all seem to be a twisted reflection of her reality. Yet, there is an eerie sense of detachment, as though she's observing her life through a glass window. The movie unfolds, and with each passing scene, it's like peeling back the layers of her life. The protagonist's childhood home in the movie, down to the very wallpaper, is identical to her own. The cherished family pet, a scruffy terrier, looks just like the one she had as a child. The high school sweetheart, the first heartbreak, the triumphant college graduation, all mirror her own journey. It's as if someone has taken a magnifying glass to her life, dissecting every minute detail and projecting it on the silver screen. The woman's initial amusement turns into a growing sense of unease. It's like a jigsaw puzzle where every piece fits all too perfectly. She can't shake off the feeling that something is not right. The movie seems to be a tapestry of her life, woven with threads of her memories. She feels a knot in her stomach, an unsettling realization dawning upon her. The line between the movie and her life begins to blur. As the plot twists and turns, the woman's life seems to intertwine with the film, like two serpents coiling around each other. She watches, transfixed, as the movie brings to light her deepest fears and secrets, things she had buried deep within herself. The film seems to know her better than she knows herself, and that terrifies her. The more she watches, the more her life seems to merge with the film. Each scene feels like a distorted echo of her past, a chilling premonition of her future, or an uncanny reflection of her present. As the threads of her life unravel on the screen, she can't help but wonder, is she merely an observer, or is she the one being observed? The woman's heart pounds as she begins to connect the dots, a cold dread seeping into her veins. She watches the movie with growing unease. The protagonist, a woman who looks uncannily like her, is living scenes from her own life. These are not mere coincidences, she realizes, as each scene unfurls like a haunting mirror image of her past. The familiar words, the recognizable emotions, the shared experiences, all point to a terrifying truth that she's reluctant to accept. As the movie progresses, her life continues to play out on the screen with eerie accuracy. The protagonist's triumphs and tribulations, joys and sorrows, all mirror her own. She tries to brush it off as a bizarre coincidence, but a nagging fear in the pit of her stomach tells her otherwise. It's as if a spectral puppeteer is pulling the strings, orchestrating this macabre performance. The suspense escalates as the protagonist's life starts to spiral into chaos. The woman watches, a silent spectator, as her celluloid doppelganger grapples with a series of mishaps and tragedies. Each incident is a chilling echo of her own misfortunes, a grim reminder of the trials she has weathered. The movie takes a darker turn. The protagonist's life is now marked by despair and desolation. The woman can't help but feel a creeping sense of doom. She can't shake off the feeling that she's trapped in a cruel twist of fate, a pawn in a cosmic game she doesn't understand. As she watches the movie, the horrifying truth dawns on her. This is her life being played out on the screen. A life she's already lived. A life that may have already ended. The protagonist's fate becomes a chilling premonition of her own, a chilling premonition that she might already be dead. She watches in horror as the movie's protagonist meets a chilling end. Her body is frozen in fear as the end credits roll. The silence in the room is deafening, punctuated only by the flickering of the television screen, casting eerie shadows on her face. The woman, once a casual viewer, is now a captive audience to her own life, playing out in stark cinematic black and white. The movie she had started as a late-night distraction has turned into a horrifying mirror, reflecting her life back at her. Each scene, each character, each dialogue, everything was eerily familiar. The protagonist, a woman of her age, her likeness, living her life, navigating her joys and sorrows. The line between reality and fiction blurs, and she finds herself spiraling into a vortex of confusion and terror. The plot thickens, the suspense heightens. With each passing scene, she watches herself live out her days, her months, her years. She witnesses her laughter and her tears, her triumphs and her failures, her love and her loneliness. She watches as the screen version of herself grows older, the lines on her face deepening, the light in her eyes dimming. And then, the shocking revelation hits her like a bolt of lightning. The end, the final scene of the movie, depicts the death of her on-screen counterpart. A chill runs down her spine as she watches the life drain out of the woman's eyes, her own eyes. She gasps, her hand flying to her chest, her heart pounding like a drum in her ears. She's trapped in a horrifying paradox, her reality intertwined with fiction. She is alive, yet she is dead. She is here, yet she is gone. The reality of her existence hangs in the balance, teetering on the edge of sanity and insanity. The room spins around her, the flickering light from the television painting a grotesque dance of shadows on the walls. She is caught in a terrifying loop of time and space, her life reduced to celluloid memories, her existence a mere echo in the void. With a sinking feeling, she wonders, am I already dead? The question hangs heavy in the air, a chilling prelude to the suspenseful ending yet to come. In the deafening silence, the woman is left grappling with her chilling revelation. A sense of dread permeates the room as she confronts the unthinkable, her existence or lack thereof. Is she a spectre trapped in an eternal loop of her own life, replayed through the haunting frames of the movie? Or perhaps she's a victim of a cruel prank, designed to send her spiraling into a pit of despair and confusion? Could it be that her mind, in an attempt to cope with the unbearable loneliness of her existence, has constructed this elaborate narrative? Each possibility seems more chilling than the last, spiraling into a web of uncertainty that leaves her, and us, questioning the very nature of reality. The line between life and death blurs, and the woman is left teetering on the precipice of the unknown. Is she really dead, or is it all just a horrifying illusion? Only time will tell.